Matt.
Hey, I'm Bianca.
And we are from Club Sapphire, and look at us, we're matching in blue tonight.
How cute!
Yes,
we are. We totally did not plan this.
Well, so you got quite an outfit there.
Do I?
Yeah. I couldn't help but noticing your breasts.
You always notice my breasts. What's new?
Yeah, well, they're just kind of busting out of this thing.
They are.
Here.
I'm noticing. So your chest is not as voluptuous as mine. This is his shirt. And it doesn't fit very well.
Because tonight's event is women in guys' shirts and men's shirts. Yes. Yeah, so it's kind of a sexy outfit and
Thanks.
Panties on and there you go.
Yeah, I don't have anything on underneath.
Wow, this works. This will be hard to concentrate on this one. Thank you. So we wanted to talk about someone had actually emailed about the little blue pill. So which is an interesting one because I don't know if we've talked about it really too much in the past, but it is something as far as guys keeping things up. We like. The ladies like it when it's up.
Like it up.
When it works properly.
They like it hard.
And when you are in situations that are new, so this would be an interesting poll, and I would definitely want people to comment on this below. Is if when you first got in lifestyle as a guy, did you have issues with getting it up? Because many guys do. And honestly, I probably almost anyone I've ever asked probably said that was an issue pretty early on, because no matter how excited you are, no matter how you are with sex at home and sex with a spouse and that type of thing that that you think you're just a machine in bed, that sometimes that can happen. And when you're brand new, it is something that you get nerves and you get nervous watching your spouse getting it on,
making sure
5 feet
okay.
over.
There's also some men just haven't used condoms a lot. I mean, we actually were just talking about this, that I don't think you ever really used a condom until we were in the lifestyle. Probably,
because, I was stupid in college. Stupid and lucky in college. And honestly, when we first got together, we were stupid and lucky, too, that we didn't... that we weren't popping babies out. Using the pull-out method just is generally not a great plan.
No.
And so, we were... it was in the lifestyle. It was I don't know if the first time I used a condom, but probably, regularly. And definitely the first time I had used it in many years.
Right.
And so it was still a situation where it was like, oh, okay, let me make sure I know what I'm doing.
You have to watch a YouTube video to figure out
how to put it on a banana. I took a class at the local junior high. The feeling is less. Mm-hmm. There is less going on when you are wearing a condom. And so, but in addition to that, you potentially could be nervous when you're brand new. And it's okay. It's common. And so a lot of people do ask about the different types of pills that guys can take. And obviously we're not medical professionals, so all we can do is tell you specific stories that we hear from other people in our own situations. And honestly, a lot of people in the lifestyle, men in the lifestyle, get prescriptions from their doctors.
Yes.
Doctors don't care. Doctors understand, and it's really not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, we've definitely seen people at events, when we do, for example, takeovers and that type of thing, or we go to hedonism, that we'll see people, they're doing a situation where they're like, oh my God, I'm going to have so much sex for like a week with all these different people that I want to make sure I'm just going constantly. Mm-hmm. And so they'll do things. We actually, do you remember we were talking to a couple on a lifestyle cruise a few years ago. Funny story, don't try this at home. The guy had heard about there's a shot that you can stick into your penis and that will make you hard. And you used to play with somebody who did that, and it works, right?
It works.
Oh yeah. She's like, yeah, it works.
It works well.
Hard as rock, instantaneous, right? It's not, you don't even, and from that perspective, you don't even need to have the mental awareness.
No.
You could be asleep and the thing's still working.
Yes.
No, she's like, he was.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was out, and I was just going to town. That's Bianca. And so the doctor who gave it to him told him that he gave him it was one shot, but it was three different times to use. So he was supposed to use 1/3 of it at a time, and it lasts for, I think, 24 hours or something like that. And he decided to use all of it at one time.
Well, I think he misunderstood the directions.
That's an important direction. And he had amazing sex for hours. And if you've ever watched a commercial for any ED type situations, they will say, if after 4 hours you still are erect, call a doctor. After 12 hours of still being erect, he decided it was a good idea to call a doctor. And we were on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, and they ended up having to fly him off via helicopter, which cost him $25,000 to fly off via helicopter. So I don't recommend that. It makes for a great story later, but I got sidetracked.
The point of that is passing out medications.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tricky thing. Like, I get it that, you really want things to work, and maybe you haven't talked to your doctor or thought about it, or you're new or whatever, but taking a medication from someone else is not a good idea.
Yeah.
That you don't know how it's going to react to you. And I'm not just talking about the shot. I'm also talking about, like, the little blue pill and everything else. It's like, you don't really know what they're handing you. You don't know. I mean, yeah, you can. I mean,
you know what they're handing
you know what they're handing you, but you don't know. Like, you don't know how it's going to react.
More importantly, is when you do go to a doctor to say, "Hey, doctor, I'm having these questionable times with people, and I want to make sure that I'm staying hard. Can you give me a prescription?" And they will ask questions mainly about your heart, and so they want to make sure everything's working properly there. And so that obviously, if you were at a house party and someone's like, here, try this, and you've never done it before, I mean. Yeah, that's probably not the best idea to do that.
And for me, like, I wouldn't want you just giving stuff, because I wouldn't want the liability. If something happened to them and they came back and was like, well, Matt gave it to me, I'm going to sue Matt now. Like, I don't want that liability. Plus, that pill is expensive,
and I don't want to just give that out. Get your own. God.
Well, but we did hear of a situation where a wife, so there was a couple, and they're playing with another, or about to go play with the other couple.
Right.
And they're all fairly new to this. And the wife took her husband's little blue pill and gave it to her partner, which I think is
took the husband's pill and gave it to the other guy. So now husband
doesn't have his little blue pill, and she's like, "Hell yeah, my man for the hour has a pill." Like, and I just think that
there's so much wrong with that story.
So much wrong with that, yeah.
That's so not okay, because on many levels, obviously the wife did something behind the guy's back in that situation. She might have thought it was perfectly fine to do that, but if the guy needed it, if the husband needed it, now he doesn't have it anymore. But also for what you were just saying about safety issues and liability issues and all of that, you just don't do stuff like that. Don't share things. And I mean, whether that's a good idea or not, but
it's not recommended.
Not recommended. But that being
yourself.
That being said, like I said earlier, a lot of guys use pills. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be ashamed about. It's perfectly normal.
I feel like more and more guys are coming out and not feeling that shame of talking about it. Because I feel like when we first got in the lifestyle, it was very like, hush, hush, I'm not going to talk about it. And then the more comfortable you got in the lifestyle and talking to other guys who are like, yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, okay. You do too? Oh, yay. Like, you now have like a little club handshake or whatever.
Yeah. That's weird.
But the point is I've seen a change with how it's become less of a stigma or whatever.
Stigma. Yeah, absolutely.
That it's like, and I don't know if it's because times are just different than it was that back then, or if it's just that we've evolved and our friends have evolved, and I don't know what the difference is, but I do know that it's a conversation that comes up all the time. And we've even been at events too where you're like in the pool and I'm talking to someone over here, and then I hear you and 3 or 4 other guys having a whole conversation about what you take and where you get it and like all the different things like, oh no, you got to try this brand because it's better than this brand or whatever. Like I've heard you have conversations with other guys like that.
Sure.
Which I think is fantastic. Like women can talk about stuff like that, no problem. So it's great that you guys have an outlet for conversations like that. You can, find men that are open-minded and willing to talk about things like that because...
That's true. Outside the lifestyle, probably guys are very, very much more internally, they're probably embarrassed about it.
Sure.
And
like I can't imagine a lot of men talking to their vanilla friends about, you're walking down the beach and you're like, sometimes I can't get hard. What do you do, Johnny?
That's right. Just like
then
that.
You throw a football. Take a little jog.
That's funny, actually. Or commercial with the dad.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, you ever, not get erect? Well, son, that's why I try. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I really wouldn't like to see that. So our point being is it's perfectly fine. It's normal. Talk to your doctor, and if you're having those issues, then you just want to have a good time that way. It's
one less thing to think about and worry about. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially as they're new into the lifestyle, there are so many things you're thinking about when you're in a room with someone, whether you're alone or like in a big playroom like here at the club. There are so many things. If there's one less thing that you have to worry about, no one's gonna say anything negative about it.
But from another perspective, except for that shot that we mentioned, which is fairly unusual, the 3 pills that are out there available all do different things, but none of them are going to work if you aren't mentally there. It just doesn't work that way. You actually have to be turned on. So if you're in a situation where even if somebody's playing with your ding-a-ling, and you're just
playing with it like that.
You don't tap it like that. But I'm not a girl. I don't know what to do. That even if you're in that situation of something sexy happening, if your mind is somewhere else, you're concerned about what your spouse is doing. There's a giant crowd in the room that's distracting. That you still aren't mentally there. It's still not going to work. It's not going to work. So you just kind of keep that in mind that there is more to it than that. It's not just a complete magic
not a
thing
magic pill.
that just automatically works that way. So yeah. So what else do you have on there?
Oh, I had another question about this was a question from a married man. He was asking if it would be unethical to identify as a single male since his wife has no intention of joining the lifestyle, but he has her full support. So they're kind of playing separately, not at the same places, possibly dating separately.
She's not in the lifestyle. We don't know if,
it was not. I don't know.
Okay.
When I was reading the question, it was I got the impression she's in the lifestyle, he's in the lifestyle, but separate because they have childcare issues and that kind of stuff. So, and they're not really. Some couples don't like watching their other spouse with other people and don't want to be involved in that. So they want to play completely separately. They will probably.
That's how we are, because I just don't want to see your face is covered with other guys' bukkake and.
What?
Sorry, I got distracted there. Separate rooms.
Anyways. So they don't want to play together. They don't want to go to the same events or whatever. And maybe she's just not wanting to do it as much as he is or whatever. So what they found works for them is they're going to do things separately.
Okay.
So when he gets to a club, when he makes an online profile, whatever, does he identify as a single man or how does he put himself out there? Okay,
so, from my own perspective, when I've come to the club without you, I have been a single man in that situation.
People know.
There have been times long before we did these videos where people didn't know me.
Okay.
But in that situation, I'm not a single guy from a dating perspective.
Right.
But for that night, absolutely. I'm a guy here by myself that is allowed to play. So therefore, yes. So in that situation, I would be going up to people as a single male. I would be acting like a single male. I would be respectful of the woman's spouse as a single male should do in any situation. It would be pretty much the same thing. But even if there was a situation where, I mean, obviously, like, people know us as Matt and Bianca, but if I came here by myself, that night, that yes, they all know that I have a spouse. I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh, I want to, date him forever, and I want him to, us to be a team type of thing for future stuff. It would be tonight, he's by himself, and Bianca's not here. Either I'm not interested in her, or I'm really interested in Matt, and I want to have sex with him. So that would be fine. Mm-hmm. It would be a single guy.
Well, I think the thing is that I'm confused on about the question is, are you walking in and lying to people and not telling them you're married? Did you take your ring off? I mean, do you not mention your wife at all when you're talking if it comes up? Because that comes up. I know we've asked, but we've talked to single guys and we were like, are you here with someone? Because they very well could be single, but on a date or whatever.
In that situation, it just makes sense, to be honest. I mean, if you're
so you're only honest if it comes up?
No, that's funny. If I were coming to the club or to a house party or whatever it might be, and people didn't know, and I was hitting on a woman, it comes up if she asks. I mean, or if she looks and obviously I have a ring on or whatever, that it's going to be like, oh, you're married, but where's your wife? She's not here. Oh, but you're okay. She's okay with this. Yes. And if obviously, or if she didn't care that I was married or whatever, then, right now, this guy that I'm talking to, I'm attracted to. So therefore, whatever he's doing outside of this, that's his problem. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he's being honest. Mm-hmm. If he isn't, that's his problem. And so they, she has the choice to play at that point. I mean, or if there was a couple that wanted a guy to join them, to have a threesome, as long as... I mean,
I think as long as you're being honest, though.
I think really the question is more along the lines of if it were online dating.
Sure.
Now, if it were online dating, that's a whole other story, because then you are, if you're meeting someone on an app or something along those lines, and you're putting yourself out there as being single, even though you are in a relationship, and the other person is assuming that you're single and hoping maybe to build a relationship, that's when you're being dishonest and you could potentially be causing a problem.
Sure.
This is actually very common with, it's a common issue actually in the polyamorous world with a lot of people who are dating on apps, that they are almost afraid at first to say, hey, I'm poly, because that will turn off a lot of people, but they want to say it as early as possible in the dating so that they're not leading someone on who might actually be like, I only want to date monogamously, and I'm here to date monogamously, which is why some apps are honestly better than others, because some of them are more open as far as you describing what you are, and people can match a little bit better than just random, I'm physically attracted to this person, let's hope that we have everything in common, and you're asking for trouble that way.
Right.
And so a lot of people have an issue, a lot of poly people have an issue with dating apps because of that. It just kind of boils down to where you are in the situation, whether you're at a club or a house party or dating. I would say in dating, you just have to, if you're online dating or an app, you just have to be as honest as you can be and just kind of go through the numbers. And most people are going to be like, oh, no, thank you, you're married, whatever. But some people don't care. And they're perfectly fine, and they're in the same situation, and hopefully everybody's being honest with their spouses, and then then everybody's happy. I don't think there's anything wrong. There's nothing wrong, and who am I to judge if people are dating others separately? Because we done it. It's all it's all fine. It's all, and everyone, a lot of people we know do the same thing. So that's all good. Yeah. So, but again, at the club or at a house party, then if in that situation, or just even if from the opposite perspective, if a girl is here and because her husband's out of town and she's a unicorn that night, if she wants to be the unicorn and act like it and have sex with 20 people, as long as that's okay in their relationship as far as their communication, or he doesn't want to know about it, then that's all. It's all good. It's all good, and we see it all the time. Yeah. Perfectly normal. So just come up with the rules between you and your significant other. Agree to them, and don't do anything particularly outside of that, and everything will be good. Yeah. So, and with that, make sure that you do go to www.clubsapphire.net and see all the awesome events that are coming up. It's unfortunate you're going to miss her in this outfit tonight because it's attached by one button and then the boobs come out. So 5 minutes from now, boobs. Sorry, folks.
My nipples aren't hard either. That's a shame.
There you go. Just make them hard. Just do that for a while. Perfect. Yeah, and the other one.
The other one. Need some ice in here.
That's right. This is watch the viewership
I
go
need a
up.
fluffer.
You need a nipple fluffer.
Is that better?
There you go.
Bit.
There you go. Perfect. Wow. That was awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see your nipples next time. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.